Great Coasters International, or the company more commonly referred to as GCI, makes some of the best wooden coasters in the industry. Of their 29 coasters, I have been fortunate enough to have ridden 17 of them. The ones I'm missing are the impressive looking ones in China, some of the smaller ones in Europe, a few of the defunct ones in the United States, and the newly opened Texas Stingray. So today, I want to count down the top GCIs that I've ridden. Number 17, Roar at Six Flags America. As the second GCI, Roar opened with Philadelphia Toboggan Company trains as opposed to Millennium Flyers, and it shows. The PTC trains really beat up the track. In the very front, Roar has some solid airtime and isn't too shaky, but towards the back, you're in for a rough ride and you don't have that airtime either. Number 16, Wildcat at Hershey Park. Is it a coincidence the two lowest GCIs on this list are the first two that both opened with PTC trains? Nope. While Wildcat received Millennium Flyer trains in 2007, it's still a fairly bumpy ride. However, the trains are well cushioned and it does have some good pops of airtime. Number 15, Lightning Racer at Hershey Park. This is easily the tamest of the GCIs. The coaster is a work of art and the racing element is executed as well as any coaster, but the layout just isn't all that exciting. There's barely any airtime moments nor intensity. Number 14, Roar at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. The West Coast Roar opened Millennium Flyer trains, unlike its East Coast counterpart. And like Six Flags America's Roar, this one was also a front row ride. Since the Millennium Flyers tracked better, the West Coast Roar was a more comfortable ride experience and it was faster, which resulted in better airtime. Number 13, Kentucky Rumbler at Beach Bend. This coaster has a good first half. It has the quick pops of airtime and sizable overbanks we've come to expect from GCI. But midway through the ride, there's this hill that crosses over the queue line. While a nice visual, it saps the ride speed for the second half. Number 12, Apocalypse at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I'm extremely thankful the park retracted Apocalypse since it was borderline unrideable a few years ago. While this coaster doesn't have as many airtime moments as the coasters above it on this list, Apocalypse feels fast and is very well paced. Number 11, White Lightning at Fun Spot Orlando. One of GCI's rare out and back coasters, White Lightning still manages to dish out an impressive amount of laterals, and it also has a few good pops of airtime, particularly on the return run. Number 10, American Thunder at Six Flags St. Louis. This coaster is all about quantity over quality. While every airtime moment feels weaker than the other GCIs, you get weak floater airtime as opposed to quick pops of airtime. This one has more hills, and this coaster is still glass smooth. Number 9, Invader at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Located in the very back of the park, Invader feels completely isolated, and while it has a smaller layout than the other GCIs on this list, Invader is a rapid blitz of airtime hills and rapid direction changes. Number 8, Prowler at Worlds of Fun. I really wish I could have ridden Prowler in its opening year. I love this coaster's layout. Every single one of the airtime hills delivers, and it's a perfectly paced ride. Plus, I love how the ride travels deep into the woods. So why is it so low? It's a shame it's become a very shaky ride. It impacted my ability to re-ride it. Number 7, Troy at Toverland. Not going to lie, I was very disappointed by Troy. It rode like your average GCI. Now that isn't a bad thing. It had all the quick pops of airtime I've come to expect from the company, but I was expecting something far better considering this is often considered the company's best coaster. Number 6, Wodan at Europa Park. Wodan rode exactly like Troy, but I placed it one spot ahead because of the superior theming. Number 5, Joris and the Drac at Efteling. This is the coaster I wish Lightning Racer was. Joris has some pops of airtime and a fast-paced layout, and as an added plus, the racing element is executed just as well as Lightning Racer. Number 4, Thunderhead at Dollywood. My 2019 rides on Thunderhead were the best I've ever had in this coaster. It was running far smoother than in past years, and the airtime felt stronger. Every hill was launching me into the lap bar. Number 3, Gold Striker at California's Great America. I noticed this ride was starting to get a bit shaky on my 2018 rides, but it's still an exceptionally well-paced coaster. It's impressive just how well Gold Striker holds its speed as you fly over the dozen or so airtime hills and rocket around the turns. Number 2, Renegade at Valley Fair. GCIs are often known for their quick pops of airtime and sudden direction changes. Renegade has those, but it also differs in that it provides several straight hills with some strong sustained floater airtime, and I really like that added variety. Number 1. Mystic Timbers at Kings Island. Topping this list is the out and back coaster Kings Island. Mystic Timbers is one heck of an agile out and back coaster. Mixed among the rapid fire series of airtime hills are subtle changes of direction that keep riders on their toes. And this coaster is one of the best night rides out there thanks to the secluded setting. Oh, and the shed is actually a pretty cool feature too. Are you a fan of GCIs? I'd love to hear your thoughts about their wood coasters below. Subscribe and stay tuned for more countdowns in the future, and thanks for listening.